The news effectively told people to look into the sky for the first time in 25 years. And an entire generation of people that never seen the sky before, shocked that there's shit flying around up there. And the news told them it could only be one thing. I realized that the government could not find snow in the middle of the winter. We all already know that. However, the American public is not that much better, guys. We are very easily bamboozled. We're very easily misdirected. Put that in your lexicon. Misdirected. What's that mean? It means causing you to look at something that is either twisted, or for a certain application to get you to step into a trap or to get you distracted from something else going on. Now, I typically do not like to cover the news because it trains you, unfortunately, to think that it affects you. However, this is a learning opportunity, and for me, this one on the news actually does affect me because I am looking to get into drones for business reasons. I thought that might be pretty cool. They would be very handy for a lot of different things. Is there a drone problem going on right now? The short answer is yes, but not in the way you think. Okay? Anytime the news, what's their reputation? They're digital crack dealers. The news does not care about your well-being, your health, your financial security, any of that stuff. They don't care about your freedom. Do you think the news really cares about the national security of the United States? If there was a problem, do you think the news is the one that would care about that? The only time they pipe in unison, in perfect, unified accord, in one accord, as the news, every channel. You got to ask yourself, what are they up to? What are they up to, man? Misdirection. For those that don't know, a couple weeks ago, when the popular, giant, huge internet sensation of the drone incursion on the United States started getting pushed, I saw it in my feeds. I didn't look at it. I didn't click on it. However, because I am looking to do it as, for other reasons, like I'm looking to invest a bit into that technology myself. We're looking to maybe even do some other projects on that. After a certain point of people bringing it up, I looked at what was going on, and it became immediately evident what the hell is going on with the drone incursion. You know what it is? Bottom line up front, they're fixing to ban drones for civilians. Watch the war. The war going on over there in Ukraine with Russia. Why do you figure they wouldn't want civilians to have drones in the United States? Because why don't they want civilians to have certain weapons? See, I'm in the Second Amendment community, so to speak. They don't want me to have belt feds and mortars and stuff like that and anti-aircraft systems. Why? Because they want an absolute monopoly on force. They don't want you to have surveillance equipment and reconnoitering equipment and all this stuff that is like, they just don't, doesn't matter what you're going to do with it. See, I would use it to check my trees for the homestead. I would also use it for work. I would use it to make sure that I'm safe on the range. I would use it to check targets. There's a lot of stuff that I'm going to use drones for. That's my plan. But they do not want you to be able to do all the other stuff that can be done with them. They do not. We are fixing for a huge drone ban. For those that are not in the know, let me give you a little context, and then let's reevaluate the situation. And then we're going to talk a little bit about misdirection from another angle. Okay? The true angle. Why I'm actually here. First, the drones. That's what everyone wants to hear about. National Defense Authorization Act of 2025, page 1084, published December 7th, 2024, just a couple days ago. They were debating the words right here on the analysis of certain unmanned aircraft systems entities. They want to ban drones for civilians. Do you know how many drones are in the United States right now, by the way, guys, for civilians? If you're talking hobby drones that are registered and serialized, because you got to like go through the FAA with drones now, there's 878,000 drones by many estimations in the United States now, I think, on the registry for civilians, and 122,000 for commercial and other applications. That's a million. There is a million privately owned drones in the United States. You see China pushing drones. I've talked to all the subject matter experts that I know on the topic who work in aerospace, who work in defense. I know DOD guys very high up there. I know guys that are writing the curriculum for drone programs for universities. And they want to ban drones. They've been pushing it. And at the exact same time, they got hung up being able to get this in the NDAA for 2025. The exact same time. Look at when they were wrestling with this. If you're in the drone circles, you very well know that there was a huge debate just like 2 weeks ago and up until now. Like, gosh darn it, we can't, like, they wanted to put this in the stuff for today. So there's a rush on drone equipment. They're thinking it's going to all get banned. And at the same time, what do you know? The news all of a sudden is in one accord, scaring the shit out of every single human in the United. Even my mom was asking me about drones. What do you think of these drones? Like, what? What drones? What are you talking about? I didn't, like, above your house? No, on the news. I'm like, oh, geez, the news. Here we go. But after it was like several weeks from every direction, normal people were getting scared of drones. Mark Twain was right. The American people are very easy to bamboozle. And we deserve our lead. You know, I know they can't find snow in the middle of the winter, but guess what? Why are we then bamboozled so easily by them? They have classic misdirection. They're advertising how scary drones are. We need to regulate them. How many politicians and civilians are crying for drones to be regulated now? So I'll read this to you. They changed the language at the last minute on December 7th. They have a 1-year period to evaluate, according to this, and they could add legislation tomorrow from a different angle if they wanted to. There's a huge push for it now, but they are creating enough momentum to where the next time the NDA comes through, NDAA, they can absolutely pass it. They're establishing what they call a precedent. Evaluation of communication services and equipment to be covered list. So this is what they ended up actually settling on. The ban didn't go through in the NDAA, as far as we can tell right now, on December 7th yet, okay? I'm not sure exactly where it's at today. In general, this is starting at line 20 on page 1084. Print it off. You need a few reams of paper. Not later than 1 year after the date of the enactment of this act, an appropriate national security agency shall determine if any of the following communications or video surveillance equipment or services pose an unacceptable risk to the national security of the United States or the security and safety of United States persons. Oh, because the NDAA is so concerned about our safety, right, guys? As I'm sure they're not like just a toy salesman. The Department of Defense is not just there to sell equipment. The military-industrial complex does not exist, right, guys? They want absolute monopoly over stuff, and they don't want their current suite of technology being rendered completely useless by the asymmetry of people running around with drones. They saw how that in Ukraine totally changed the battlefield. They're like, we better have full control over this industry here. We don't want civilians running around with this because that changes the whole ball game. There's a lot of people invested in entire directions and suites. Communications, or this is page 1085 now, line 3, communications or video surveillance equipment produced by Shenzhen Dazhang in Innovation Science and Technologies Company Limited, known as DJI Technologies. Huge, giant company for those that know drones. Communications or video surveillance equipment produced by Autel Robotics and all the other entities. Basically, what it's saying in the NDAA is they have a year to determine whether or not drones are a problem or any potential risk to any United States person. Well, guess what? If a drone hit you in the face on accident, that's a risk to a United States person. So what are they doing? They're advertising. They want to push it through. They want to, just like they do with guns. They have major gun legislation that's not passing. What do? You guys tell me. I'm not allowed to say it because I don't want to get sued for $1 trillion, billion, quadrillion, billion dollars. But you tell me what they do when they want to pass laws. They'll do anything. By the way, just reminding you, it is 100% legal according to the NDAA from a few years ago to lie to the American public in straight legalese terms. They made it according to their witchcraft laws. They can totally bullshit you. They can completely make stuff up. The government can produce propaganda lying to you if it's for the good of the national defense. I'm sure they've never used that before. Of course I would. They've never used it yet, guys, right? And I don't think that ever happened, ever. But like, that's what stood out to me. Because the same time it got jammed up in Congress, all of a sudden we're being invaded by drones. By the way, for those of you that are not familiar with aircraft, and this is the other funny part too, anytime something hits the zeitgeist of the internet, everyone immediately becomes an expert in that topic, right? Everyone. Like, how many people became demo experts after 9/11 within like listening to one podcast show or one radio show? Everyone became a demo expert. Am I saying that's sketchy stuff didn't happen? No. I'm aware of it. I'm just saying, like, everyone was and what does that do? That clouds the real experts from actually having the clout to ever make their point and fix anything. When all of us people just start piping in, when we exit our lanes, what do we do when we exit our lanes of expertise? I know we're trying to help, but you prevent like, how about this? Imagine an operating room where they just allowed the entire family in there to like, well, I think you should cut here. Well, hold on a minute. Give me the scissors. 24 cc's of whatever stat. You know, I watched a hospital movie and I'm sure this is what we need to do. Now the surgeon can't get in the hospital room to do his job. Are you helping? And I agree that the industrial illness complex is terrible and is upside down in the devil and everything too. I know. I'm just making a point that we're not helping when we do the same thing they do to us. Right? If you want to know about aircraft, talk to a pilot. Don't ask the lady from Dairy Queen on her phone who for the very first time in her life looked up. Why did she look? Why are all of a sudden everyone in the whole world all of a sudden looks up for the first time in 25 years? Why? Everyone's a TV head. They're not aware of anything in the universe that doesn't exist on their show or their podcast or whatever, man. Nobody's been anywhere or done anything. It's all digitally projected. Okay? So like for the first time, the news is telling people to go outside and look up. And if you see anything suspicious, let us know. That's going to be pretty entertaining. Oh my God, there's a light in the sky. And I don't even know what it is. And if I don't know what it is, it only could be one thing. A mothership launched drone army of some, like, whoa. So now you got every lady that works at Dairy Queen, the lady that gives you the monster burger that can't talk straight from Hardee's. Remember that lady? Would you like a monster burger? Like, ooh. Like, and then like everyone, like all the old grandmas come outside with their phones like, where's those gosh darn Russian drones? Now the call lines are completely jammed. And think of the internet. How many videos of airplanes got uploaded? When they show this stuff on the news, you know what you're looking at? Watch the video by C.W. Lemoyne. I think he's like a fighter pilot, like an F-18 pilot. I can't remember. But he has golden commentary on the idiocracy. He's like, dude, I don't even know what to say. Like, he appears to even be embarrassed to be an American right now with the way people are like, it's an orb, and it's feeding off of the other orb. Now it's feeding off of the other orb? So the lady at Subway can identify different classes of alien orbs, and there's like they're feeding off each other from the energy, based on my Nintendo game knowledge from my cousin playing it when I was on Facebook one time. Like, holy Moses, we're terrible. If you see, this is according to him, and I'll share his video. If you see something in the sky, and you see a green light and a red light, you know what that is? Oh my God, it has green lights and red lights. It's some kind of mysterious, or it's not mysterious. Those are called nav lights. It's part of ICAO regulations. The FAA and the ICAO. Nav lights on planes. Drones have to have them, helicopters, commercial airliners, all that stuff. Right? Well, do drones have to have them? What's the lighting regulations for drones? Landing lights. You know, the big searchlight looking, you know, like when they land, they turn on the spotlight, and so it's like, because it's driving forward. Like all the stuff I've seen on the news, 99% of the stuff I see uploaded, I'm like, that airplane, it's a regular airplane. You can hear the propellers. You can hear on some of them the jet engine. But the lady from Dairy Queen, because her phone went out of focus, because it's like, by the way, your Samsung or your iPhone is not going to get a perfectly clear zoomed in video of an airplane 4,000 meters away. It's going to blur. You're not going to see the airplane part because the light overwhelms the camera. But you have nav lights, you have a strobe, that's the blinking light, and you have searchlights. So are the Iranians launching their evil drones off their mothership off the coast of freaking the East Coast, and they all got they're all following ICAO and FAA regulations. The Iranians are, because they're gonna take out the United States. Well, they're gonna do it like with their safety beacons on. Dude, the commercial airline footage that was shared, the news, by the way, are prostitutes that dish out digital crack. They take audio from a pilot. Well, a pilot would know, Rex. Listen to the details and then ask a pilot what he's saying. See, the news doesn't tell you what the pilot's saying. They know that you don't know what pilot language is. Ask a pilot. They're talking, oh, I saw the strobe. That's what airplanes have on them, by the way, strobes. And it came up on my TCAS. That's what do they call that? The transportation, or what is it called? It's like the collision avoidance system. So they're squawking their safety signals so they don't ram into other airplanes. But it's an alien orb feeding on the other orbs because one airplane flew next to another airplane. The light blended together on the camera. They're feeding off each other, Rex. Okay, man. You know, I always thought there was interesting effects from them legalizing the reefer in half the states. That's a joke. Calm down, damn it. It's a joke. Like, oofta. That's a good one, guys. That's a real good one. Very entertaining. So what's going on? The news effectively told people to look into the sky for the first time in 25 years. And an entire generation of people that never seen the sky before, shocked that there's shit flying around up there. And the news told them it could only be one thing. If it's not like an airplane in clear day, like where you can see the tail on the, if you can't see it at nighttime, any airplane, if you can't identify what kind of airplane it is, it's a flying saucer, it's a drone. Rex, are they really flying saucers? Oh yes, I know all about them. I know all about flying saucers, man. I've been in the spaceship too. I understand. Look up Jack Parsons, the guy who started that whole spiel, and Aleister Crowley. That's on my Patreon channel now. So I'll share my Patreon links below. See, that's the real reason why I'm here, is just to get you to the Patreon channel, guys. But I'm telling you, like, if you want to know about the mothership and the drones, we need to stop being bamboozled by the news. It's like embarrassingly dumb. Seriously. What? I mean, I could go on for years with funny stories about people choking on their tongues because they watched a show about how... What the hell's that? They watched a show on how the aliens are going to abduct them, and then when they drive past a radio tower at night and it's foggy, they don't see the tower, they just see the red light coming, blinking, like, what's that? And they start choking on their tongue like it's just terrifying. The television was a super weapon, man, and it took out the United States population. We're like worse than the Eloi in the book The Time Machine. We're worse than them. Laying around in togas, eating grapes, clueless that every once in a while the Morlocks come up out of the ground and eat half of us. We don't care. We don't know. They steal our children. We're just like, I don't know what's going on, Rex. Quit rocking the boat. And then the Morlock creates a diversion to look over here. Will they take 400 more people on this side? Run them down. It's just like, I don't know if you ever read the classic book, The Time Machine. See, there's smart people, and then there's dumb people. Don't be one of the Eloi, the dumb people. The smart ones are usually, unfortunately, the bad guys that are taking advantage of everybody. If you want to be the alpha protector, the first thing you need to learn is how to not be bamboozled by propaganda, not exit your lane, not become an immediate expert on assassination the second the news hits in New York City of some murder. How many guys popped onto the internet and were immediately commenting on, well, he's obviously not a trained assassin. When's the last time you were a trained assassin? I call bullshit. We're terrible. Some guy from the NRA, like, I'm a range safety officer. He's obviously untrained in special operations. What would you know? Go ask a guy with a green hat or one of those guys that actually does that kind of work if what's going on. Oofta, guys. Why is America so bad? The politicians, if the politicians are so dumb, why do they completely control you on their strings with their television show? Snap out of it. Value your training. Exit Babylon. Realize your gates and your boundaries, your lanes. Be happy with your family. Grow trees. Make Babylon and all the drama of all that stuff completely irrelevant by living in a way that's wise. To where, at worst, the drones thing is just complete entertainment. To me, it's complete entertainment. Am I worried? I don't even care if I convince you. To me, it's just 100% entertainment. It's an excuse to have a funny talk with you guys. But if you want to know commentary from a guy that's not high on the pipe smoke completely from Babylon, yeah, those are airplanes. And don't believe the news. Don't let them establish the narrative in your mind so that when you go outside, all you can see is drones. Remember scientific process. What's the baseline? 878,000 drones registered. I guarantee you every kid with a drone is flying it on the East Coast now, trying to intercept the real ones. And then they're all chasing each other, thinking the other one's an alien spaceship or a freaking Chinese. We're chasing the Iranians, says every kid to the other kid. They don't know. It's just funny. It's literally like a Simpsons episode. So if you found this entertaining or valuable, please join us on the Patreon page where we talk about actual real life things, where we talk about what it takes to be the man of the house. You're not the man of the house because you were on the internet all day arguing with people about flying saucers. I don't know if that ever occurred to anybody, right? You're not the man of the house when you abandon your family to follow the pipe smoke of the world. Okay? So if you want to invest in your actual training, join us over there. It's a vetted, filtered community There is a paywall filter. If you sign up for free, you're not going to have really access to anything. This, YouTube stuff you will, but it's a filtered community to protect those that are trying to learn there. And it's not even that much of a paywall. It's just, do you have the wherewithal to even find your wallet? If not, then you're not allowed to talk. So that's why we have filters there. It's out of love for the people that want to execute just weights and measures and who support the operation. So join us there. We have the Q&A. We talk about anything you want to talk about. We talk about all sorts of Bible stuff. We talk about the pointy objects a little bit in the RX classroom, right? From a precision shooting point of view. We talk about the mysteries of the universe, anything that'll amplify or solidify your actual foundation and enthusiasm to follow the instructions from above and not be bamboozled by the buffoonery of the world. Okay, Rex out.